Welcome to the deep dive, where we take on complex topics and really just deliver the distilled knowledge you need to be well informed right now. Today, we are targeting the single most important transition of your day, that first hour you're awake.
Hmm.
If you're that person who hits 2 p.m. and just wonders where all your morning energy went, or you feel tired even after a full night's sleep, this deep dive is definitely for you.
It is.
We've gathered a really dense stack of sources, research on chronobiology, sleep medicine, all that, and pulled out 5 critical morning mistakes that I think almost everyone is likely making.
And these aren't like personal failures. They're these subtle, science-backed habits that are secretly sabotaging your energy for the whole day.
Right.
So our mission today is to give you the shortcut, the evidence-based morning routine. We're moving way beyond generic advice to focus on the why.
The physiological and hormonal impact.
Exactly. So you can make informed choices. And trust me, you are going to want to stick around for habit number 3,
A coffee one.
the coffee one.
Yeah.
The data we found there just flips everything you think you know on its head.
Okay, let's unpack this immediately then. Let's start with the biggest universal struggle, the snooze button.
The snooze trap.
Yes. When that alarm goes off, that extra 9 minutes feels like this little gift you're giving yourself, right? A moment of rest you deserve.
It feels so good. But the sources are crystal clear. Hitting snooze is habit number 1, and it just sets you up for cognitive failure.
It's a classic example of something that feels right, but is actually doing real damage.
It is. When your first alarm goes off, your brain starts this really complex wake-up sequence. Your hormones shift, your body temp starts to rise.
So the system is kind of starting the ignition sequence.
That's a perfect way to put it. But when you hit snooze, you tell your body, false alarm, and you actually start a brand new deep sleep cycle.
And a full deep cycle is, what, 90 minutes? But you're only giving yourself 9 before the next alarm.
So you violently interrupt it, almost immediately. You fragment your sleep over and over again, and your brain doesn't register that as quality rest.
And this is what triggers that thing called sleep inertia.
That's it.
We hear that term a lot, but what exactly is it? Is it just feeling tired, or is there more to it?
It's your brain running on half power. It's that dense, groggy, disoriented feeling that can linger for, not just minutes, but up to 4 hours after you wake up.
4 hours.
It's the physiological cost of that repeated disruption. It just tanks your attention, your memory, your reaction time. You're starting your day hours behind.
And the evidence here is so compelling. It really focuses on quality versus quantity, doesn't it?
It does. We reviewed this one study that found consistently fragmented sleep, starting and stopping with the snooze button, is actually worse for your cognitive performance.
Worse than what?
Worse than if you just got less total sleep, but in one continuous solid block.
Wow. So the practical alternative, as brutal as it sounds,
is to create some friction. You have to physically place that alarm across the room.
force yourself to take the action.
Precisely. Because the second your feet hit the floor, you need to signal to your brain, it's time. Suppress melatonin. And the best way to do that?
Light.
Instant, non-negotiable light exposure. Open the curtains, flip on the brightest overhead light you can handle. It's the fastest way to reset your clock.
That makes so much sense. Okay, so we've fixed the physical trap of the bed. Now let's talk about the digital trap. Because even if you get your feet on the floor, a massive 71% of us, what do we do next?
Grab the phone.
Grab the phone. This is mistake number 2. And it just forces you into this reactive, anxious mode before the day's even begun.
The hormonal impact here is incredibly immediate.
Yeah.
And destructive. When you dive straight into email or social media or the news,
You're just flooding your brain with demands and stress.
you're hijacking your system. We're talking about cortisol, right? That primary stress hormone.
Yeah.
You're spiking it right out of the gate.
And that disrupts a natural process, doesn't it?
Absolutely. It disrupts what's called the cortisol awakening response. That's your body's healthy, natural spike of cortisol that's supposed to happen 30 to 45 minutes after you wake up. It's what makes you feel alert.
But the phone makes that spike too high, too soon.
Way too high. You feel anxious, overwhelmed, and it guarantees a much sharper energy crash later in the morning.
You're trading stable, natural alertness for this immediate stressful jolt. And then there's the blue light from the screen itself.
Yes. Just like we said, bright light is critical for waking up. The blue light from your screen, held close to your face, is just confusing your hormonal signals.
So you're fighting your own biology.
You are. You're compounding the psychological stress with an environmental one.
So the fix, which all our sources strongly recommend, is the phone-free first hour. I know that sounds Almost impossible for some people.
It sounds huge, but even 30 minutes makes a profound difference in your mood and your stability for the rest of the day.
So it's about shifting from being reactive to being proactive.
Exactly. Use an old school alarm clock. Put the phone on airplane mode if you need it for music. But that first block of time, it should be yours.
For what? Hydrating, stretching.
Journaling, or just enjoying a cup of coffee in peace. Give your brain a chance to come online before the world rushes in.
Speaking of coffee, now let's get to the big one. This is the habit that might really shock people. Here's where it gets really interesting. Mistake number 3. Drinking coffee the minute you wake up, especially on an empty stomach.
This habit is so ingrained in our culture, that immediate coffee rush. But the timing is just fundamentally flawed, based on your body's natural rhythm.
And it's a two-part problem, right?
It is. The first part is digestive. Caffeine makes your stomach produce more acid. For a lot of people, having that on an empty stomach leads to that jittery, anxious feeling, heartburn.
Okay, but you said that was the mild issue.
That's the mild issue. The critical one for your energy is the cortisol peak. We've already said your cortisol is naturally highest in that first hour after waking.
That's your body's own energy boost.
Exactly. So when you drop a massive dose of an external stimulant, caffeine, right on top of that natural healthy peak, you're just pushing the level far too high.
And that guarantees a crash later.
A guaranteed sharp energy crash. And it builds tolerance, meaning you need more and more coffee to get the same effect. You're basically wasting its benefit.
So you're undermining your body's own alertness mechanism. You're using the caffeine when you need it least.
And you won't have it for when your cortisol naturally starts to dip later in the morning.
Okay, but I have to challenge you here. What about the people who feel genuine withdrawal? You know, the headaches, the brain fog, if they don't have that coffee immediately?
That's a great question, and it just proves the physical dependency that this habit creates. The compromise is to hydrate first. A big glass of water.
Why water first?
Because a lot of those withdrawal symptoms are actually just dehydration in disguise. So that often helps. Then maybe have a little green tea to gently bridge the gap while you wait.
So if we're delaying the coffee, what's the optimal window?
The research is very consistent on this. You want to wait until your cortisol levels naturally drop, which is usually about 90 minutes to 2 hours after you wake up.
So drinking coffee between, say, 9:30 and 11:30 in the morning.
That's the sweet spot. That's when you get the full, sustained benefit of the caffeine without that amplified crash, the 90-minute rule.
So the rule is water first. Hydration is non-negotiable.
Absolutely. After sleeping for 8 hours, you are fundamentally dehydrated. That alone causes sluggishness and brain fog. Water first, then ideally a protein-rich breakfast.
Which brings us perfectly into the final 2 habits, which are all about activating the physical body. Let's talk about movement, or the lack of it. Mistake number 4 is the static start. You know, we roll out of bed and we immediately sit.
At a desk, in a car, at the kitchen table, we go from horizontal stillness to static sitting.
And that denies your body a really crucial transition, doesn't it?
It does. When you move, even lightly, you jumpstart several systems. You increase blood flow and oxygen to the brain, which helps fight that sleep inertia we talked about.
And you get the lymphatic system going.
Which is key for clearing out cellular waste. Plus, you get a little endorphin release, which is a natural mood boost. It's an organic, non-caffeinated jolt of energy.
So we're physically clearing the fog, and it doesn't have to be a marathon session at the gym.
Not at all. There was a study we saw that found just 10 minutes of low to moderate morning movement significantly improved cognitive performance for the entire day.
That's a huge return on investment.
A staggering return. The alternative is simple. 5 to 10 minutes of stretching, a short walk, some light yoga, just break the chain of stillness.
Which finally brings us to mistake number 5, and it's a delicious trap. The sugar bomb breakfast.
And this isn't just pastries and donuts. It can be things we think are healthy, like big bowls of granola, sweetened yogurt, or a glass of fruit juice.
And this creates that energy roller coaster.
Devastating for focus. All that simple sugar causes a huge spike in your blood glucose. Your body floods your system with insulin to deal with it, and the result is a massive crash.
The mid-morning slump.
That's it. You get 30 minutes of rocket fuel, and then a hard, prolonged crash right when you need to be focused.
So the fix is to build your breakfast around what?
Protein, healthy fats, and fiber. Those 3 things slow down that glucose absorption and prevent the insulin surge.
So we're talking about eggs with avocado, Greek yogurt with nuts and seeds, that kind of thing.
Exactly. And you want to be intentional about the protein. The research suggests aiming for about 20 to 30 grams.
Why that specific number?
That threshold is critical. It keeps you feeling full by triggering the right appetite hormones, and it sends a key signal to your body to preserve muscle and maintain a stable, energized state. It's a powerful lever for all-day energy.
This has been an incredible deep dive. I mean, peeling back the science on these basic morning habits is just fascinating. Let's do a quick recap of the 5 fixes.
Okay, number one, stop hitting snooze, get up and get into the light to avoid that sleep inertia.
Number 2, skip the digital drag. Keep that phone away for at least 30 minutes to manage your cortisol.
Number three, the game changer. Delay your coffee by at least 90 minutes. Hydrate first.
Number 4, ban the static start. Move your body for 5 or 10 minutes. Get the blood flowing.
And number 5, skip the sugar bomb. Fuel yourself with 20 to 30 grams of protein for sustained, stable energy.
So what does this all mean for you, the listener? We've just given you 5 massive levers, but trying to overhaul everything at once, that just leads to overwhelm.
And failure. It never works.
So our challenge to you is simple, and it's based on the science of behavior change. Pick just one.
Just one of these habits to change this week. Start small.
Maybe it's just drinking that glass of water before your coffee, or leaving the phone in another room.
Exactly. Build that momentum and just watch how dramatically your energy levels respond to that one small change.
It's a great takeaway.
And if we connect this to the bigger picture, just think about how much control you have over your entire day. It all comes down to the environmental cues you send your brain.
Light, sound, movement.
They aren't just things that happen to you. They are levers you control. The moment you decide to send a clear, bright signal to your system that it's daytime, you're taking foundational control of your biological rhythm.
Which is the real secret to sustained energy.
It's the secret. It all starts with that first conscious, intentional choice you make in the morning.
That's a powerful final thought. Take control of tomorrow morning. Thank you for diving in with us today.
We hope you start tomorrow energized.
We'll catch you on the next deep dive.